The legend was born in 1965 in the storied swamp of Florida, and as befits a legend, it began with a searing question.
Coach asked why we didn't go during the game.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
As the Gators marched through the season, they drank a carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
In conditions that would make a salamander sweat, the Gators thrived.
Those boys drank that stuff and they became a second-half team. I saw it with my own two eyes.
In 1967, when the Gators won their first Orange Bowl, Gatorade had arrived.
Today, Gatorade is the most researched sports drink in the world.
And it continues to fuel champions wherever they're found. Humbly born on the hard-scrabbled gridirons of Florida, proven by generations of athletes. And just as the games never end, so the legend continues.
Now that the deadline is here and the absentee ballots have pushed Bush's lead to around 900 votes, is Gore going to change his strategy?
The strategy is the same. Al Gore is just trying to get votes counted. The very fact that Katherine Harris wasn't willing to accept ballots counted after the deadline, even though all the absentee ballots hadn't arrived yet, makes it crystal clear that she's trying to do everything she can to stop new votes from being counted.
Mr. Boyce, I'm
What do you think?
about the Secretary's reading of this.
He's tough. You have to be tougher.
David Boyce can destroy a witness and make you think he's a great guy while he's doing it.
His 20-hour Bill Gates deposition is already legendary.
I heard he never uses notes.
He's dyslexic, so he has to memorize everything.
Let me be clear. Judge Lewis's decision isn't the triumphant victory for Katherine Harris that her people are claiming. She stated that she can't accept ballots counted after the deadline unless there was a hurricane. And Judge Lewis said that this was incorrect, that regardless of the weather, the law clearly states that she can accept late ballots, that it's her decision. And if she wants to reject legally counted votes, she has to come up with an actual reason for doing so.
Shouldn't I just ignore Judge Lewis and certify tonight?
No.
This deadline's in a few hours.
Catherine, this is a court order. You must obey it.
He's right, Catherine. The judge said you have to come up with a reason to reject late ballots. So we have to come up with a reason. You know, something that shows you didn't just reject them arbitrarily.
Why don't I just ask the counties to tell me why I should give them more time?
Shit, Catherine, that's good. We just ask them. Yeah, I like it.
In accordance with Judge Terry Lewis' ruling, I have sent a letter to the counties asking them to explain why I should allow ballots counted after the deadline to be included in the final tallies. The counties must respond in writing by 2 o'clock tomorrow. On the advice of legal counsel, I won't be answering any questions.
Saturday Night Live. She's got a lot of ridicule. Time magazine referred to her as Cruella de Vil. But the piece that seemed to attract the most attention was
After careful consideration, I am denying the county's request to include ballots counted after the deadline. The final tallies will be certified tomorrow evening. On the advice of our legal counsel, I won't be answering any questions.
Well, that's not surprising. So we try to get the Florida Supreme Court to stop her from certifying?
I don't think they'll grant us this stay.
Florida Supreme Court just issued a stay to stop certification.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I get this. Al Gore didn't even ask for one. Florida Supreme just went on ahead and gave it to him. All right, people, listen up. We got ourselves a fire chief of staff, a lawyer who can't read his notes, and 7 Florida justices to face, who I may have mentioned, I'm not sure if I did, are all liberal Democrats. I think it's time for our supporters to exercise their First Amendment rights.
George W. Please put the world back in order for me. George W.
Gore does not receive the ruling from the
Catherine
Florida
Harris
Supreme
claims
Court.
that ballots counted after the deadline cannot be.
Lo que está pasando aquí es un circo loco. Cuando pensamos en los Estados Unidos...
4-inch. Make sure you hold that sign up high. Exactly. 4 back. This is your bet. Hold that up to your head and say, I call this vote.
I call this vote for Gore.
Gore's a crybaby. I want a recount.
Peter Jennings and Tom Brokaw have bald spots. Peter Jennings and Tom Brokaw have bald spots. Peter Jennings and Tom
The Gore campaign says further legal action is still on the table, but officials privately concede an adverse ruling from the state Supreme Court would deal a fatal blow to the Gore campaign.